Hello, hello. So I'm going to be talking like this right now, so I can hear the vibration off of my finger, sending it to my ear. So if they're connected to my ear, because what the club is about is it's a beanie. They put it over this ear here, they put it over your head here, and they put it over here. Why? Because the chicken leg that sticks up like this, it pulls in your three direction, your cat's ears that you don't hear because it's above your head. I told you, Delta Dawn, what's that flower you got on? Can it be a tainted rose from days gone by? Or did I hear you say you were a meeting me here today? Dun, 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 in the sky. Learn that song, my friends, because Delta Dawn is 44. The three circles of the club is 45, the fox that they got over your head. They got a fox hat over your head. The triangle that holds the club up, triangle is three corners. What would I give for the triangle? How many points? Let's get it. How much? What can I do for the triangle? Just let's add 3. So once we add 3 to the triangle of 45, we have 48. 4 times 8, 4 plus 8 is 32, and 12 is 44. Delta Dawn. The center of the Rubik's, it's not that bad, all these crosses we wear on our back, because down by Hoover Dam, the cross that's over there by Hoover Dam, it actually brings us into the world, and we float into the air. That's why they need this Hiroshima to kill what's in the air, my friends, because it's our spirit. We're going to get all confused when this happens. Everything says, oh, the radioactivity. No, it's our communication. It's the spirit. How do you want God to deliver it? He delivers it in the air you breathe. And you breathe out and you fly like angels into the sky. And into the sky are more and more. You know why? Because they're all numbered. All these angels are numbered with every single number. The minute your number hits it, it's got a communication gap. It finds out your number. All of a sudden, it knows what other number to call to get the rest of the information. And all it takes is no more than a few seconds, just like it takes when they listen to the radio shows. If I don't try the two ears, then I won't confuse them. But then again, she's on my head no matter what. So now I have my hand inside one side of the club. But this side of the club, when I look at it, if I look at this side of the club, I put the club this way, and I turn my keyboard shows 1, 4, and 7 over here. It shows 1, 4, and 7 over here, and it shows 1, 4, and 7 on the calculator over here. But when I turn it around, the keyboard facing you, because 4 is the Mars angel, 6 is the Saturn. Saturn is 4 plus 2, Venus plus Mars, and that's how they trap us. November 16th is Valentine's Day. You ever hear the song 90 Days of Winter or 90 Days of this? I don't want to tell you. I can't tell you. But I'm gonna explain to you a story, what's in my head, what I see, the greatest story in the world. Because when you start to tell a story, even if it's a nighttime story before you're going to bed, it's just a story. Oh, Zadie, can you read me a story, please, Zadie? Papa, read me a story. It's just a story. Everybody wants to hear a good story. Well, I have a story to tell, a long story to tell that stretches out from the future all the way before anything was ever born. And the reason I can create this story is because I hear, I see, I touch, I smell. And with all my senses, it's a flower for the hour, and it comes out in the summer, and it's a whole lot of fun. But it's a club in the clubhouse. Did you know what I mean? You're not invited, like George Carlin said, into the clubhouse of the scepter. What, the spade holds the scepter, and the club holds the flower. Like, come on, man. They're holding the scepter for 7, and the other one's holding the flower. The flower is the one that's stealing all your communication. Look at all the great flowers. But not all the flowers are great. It brings in a misconception within the spirit realm, which is the vibration from in which we decode each and every one of us from the earliest ages of 4 and 5, because 4 and 5 is when the sun comes out to the moon and our teeth start to fall out. 4 and 2. Everything runs in a cycle of 13 of 16. When you come to the cycle of 15, all you have is a cage that you have built. When you want to build a cage, it's 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3. You got 18 points on the outside, 1 point on the inside. You got A and H, A and H, A and H, A and H. The angel laughs. 1 and 8 is the 18th letter. 1 and 8 is 9, plus 18 is 36. Now the creation is laughing, C and F. Because we're breathing that stuff in too. The nose, the nostrils of the horse are so big. Look at that middle. That's the middle. It comes in from here from 1, and it splits to 2 worlds. The mustache, it goes over the roulette board, and it picks up 1, 2, 3 numbers to bet. But if you put it this way on the roulette board, right, you'll pick a set of 9 numbers up. Because horizontal, you get 3. But if you stand on top and it goes all the way below, like the Twin Towers, your mustache grows like your long hair. Down, 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 Rapunzel. Because the Twin Towers and your mustache, if you were the antenna of communication, you would go right down to the bottom and envelop one side wall of it. With 4 of you, you will catch the 4 walls. The antenna of the Twin Towers and the antenna of the 1776 Twin Towers, you must look at the antenna. A-N-T-E-N-N-A. N-A. 10 N-A. N-A. 10 N-A. 14, 14, 28. They are owning it. Attention. Antenna. Antenna. But you can also say UN tenna or UN tuna. Oh, and I'm sitting here, I'm doing these videos. I got to go out for coffee, and I have a few things to do. And I'm doing these videos, and they're not going to upload some of them. And I'm just going to say, you know what? Once my word gets out, once the word is out, once the word moves on, and the horse no longer has to pull the sleigh as hard, he can now lag behind and at the same time watch the ass and answer every single question of everybody that's in front of him and taking all shit because you're facing forward because you can't go back. We must exult, not to let them block us with that X because they keep taking away my videos. The letter C, the letter S, letter C 1 level, the letter C 2 levels, the letter C 3 levels, and now the State of the Union. You put 111 in there, just 11. That's all I put was the 11. State of the Union sews the mind together. So you have 3 levels. So we started over here with the first one, obviously, at the top, which would actually be turned upside down. And then after you get that, you go to a level. So now look what you automatically got. Tic-tac-toe. From absolutely nowhere. And guess what? I don't want to tell you this, but you think I'm smart. I'm not. I just saw that right now for the first time. That's why I don't want to be stopped. I need to go. We need to be a team. I need to take a picture of everything I'm doing and put it online so everybody can see exactly what I'm doing, exactly what I'm thinking. I'll come on and do videos about it. Plus, you'll all have the sheets at your house if you're interested in taking part. We're going bigger than what's my birthday. We have 90 days. November 16th is November 16th. November 16th is Halloween is 304. Plus 16 equals 320. 320 is 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45 times 3 on one side, which gives you 135, and times 2 because it's on both sides of the dam. This is the one in the middle, the big net in. The horse, his nose, number 9, he's blowing out. He's got the biggest nose in the world. You can lead a horse to water, but to hell if he wants to drink, because he knows what's already going on in there. So that's why these horses bleed inside. They bleed more than anything else, these horses. Horses bleed because it seems like they're drinking their own blood. So if you're talking about vampires and stuff, it's got to be the horse drinking his own blood. Now he takes the Lasix, LA31, IX9, 319. Oh my God. Instead of 316 of creation, he's 319. They have to protect him. He doesn't drink, he drinks his blood. I've never said this before. I just thought of it, and it makes sense to me. The horse, you ever see how it works? We're not going to talk about that. They're royal. They're royal. And you want to take out the ruler? Because they're going to run a mile. So you got 135 now on two sides, plus 3 for creation. That would be 3 times 91 equals 273, which is the 30th of September. But now you need, before anything started, in every single dice, you have 1 4, you have 1 5, which traps the whole 4. 1 4. You see, man is actually, that's man. 3 plus 6. Why? Because this is the tallest that goes around your neck. You put it around your neck. Plus whatever else that comes along with the 6. Don't forget, this and this is up and down. 1 2 2 3 4 5 6 7. Basically 1 hole in the ass, 8, and the dick in the front is 9, with 2 balls hanging around. And in every single ball is 15. 7 by it equals to 105 twice. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. You have to remind me of that one. The 320 degrees. Okay, this number would bring a birth using the 4 dice. See, this is the world we're in right now, the 5 dice, and it's all over the Mayans. This is who we are. Okay, we come in like this at 1, 5, and 9 at birth, and we earn like this in life 3 creation of the 5 of the 7 spirit of Uranus. Uranus is daddy. It's got 2 U's in it. So when you come with this, and they put the club on your head and look like this, they've doubled you over in each of the worlds, and they take advantage of you. There's only 2 free, here and the bottom one, but that doesn't matter because that's a satellite reception. 3 2, what goes over here? We already had the 4 here. 3 2 comes from this over here. 320, 8 times 40 is 320. Could be 324, right? That would be the jail we're in. Could be 326. That would be the doghouse we're in. It could be 328. Start counting time. And 47 times 28. 28. Now, I'm going to show you that in a minute, this in a minute. So by adding on 135 is 270. Plus you have to add on, well, it's 4. It's 3 and 4, which is 7 for the 7th gate. So that would be a total of 277, and that would be October 4th of 2014. In the coming year, the shofar is going to be blasted between Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah on November 4th. When you show this 120 in between, there's a distance of it's 180. There's a difference of 20, and 20 on the other side. It's 160. 160 equals 320. You're 20 away from 180. You're 20 away from 180. So take the 20 away from 180, right? And here you're 20 away from 180. Together you're 40. They gave them Monopoly, but there's other calculations. I don't want to go there. I wanted to show you something else, because it shows you jail. Oh, here. 304 is the day of Halloween. You put a 6 here. It shows you exactly the 364th day, or exactly the 13th moon. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Look, 1 and 3 makes a B. Now you put number 2, because 1's on the outside, 3's on the outside. It'd be 407. B's on the inside. 427. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you put 324, that shows your birth. The doghouse, excuse me. You're in jail in the doghouse. 3 and 4 zeros in the center. This is in the 1 position, and this is in the 6 position, and this gets a 2 over here. 1 2 2 4 2 6, and now you got the doghouse. So I don't know how I got it. This one became 324, and this one became okay. I'm not going to go any further. Let's go on to something else. So we got antenna. Ant, N, EN, 5 and 14. It's the moon, how they intercept you on the moon with N. 10 is 2014. North America, 2014. Ant. Pay the ante. The ante must be paid. For whatever they did to come into this world, to act as our helpers, our governments and everything, it's something from somewhere further out. And they come here to see what they can do with us again. Because this is not the first time we're here. Not you, not me, not if you're 2, and not if you're 10. And if a child dies during pregnancy or before, if a person makes a decision that they do not want to have that child, then you have to understand the matrix system on how they think and how fate will come to get you as an angel. You will always retain every single memory, and you will always be corrected in the system, because when you live in the bubble world, the corrections are all over the place. Signs are everywhere, because you're always correcting what happened in the last life, so you don't make the same mistake twice. Because then you'll have to learn again. And you want to come back here to do this all again, to forget, for them to put a club over your head? Hit me with a club. Well, I don't want a club, I want a heart. Well, what game are we playing? Clubs and hearts? Let me see what else I can get out of here. Now all of a sudden, there's now a big site that says pan on it. And there's another site that says tack on it. There's another site that says Mars is empty. M-R-T. M. Forget about R. R is the railway, and we know what's coming on those tracks, right? MT, Mars, MT. It's 3 Rubik's Cubes. It's 3 Rubik's Cubes. This is what happens. This is the Earth part. This is the Mars. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3 going this way, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 going down. 3 times 4 is 12. 12, 12, 12 is 36. But in between each one that we go down, we have to put one that overlaps. So if there's 4 by 3, that means there's 3 by 2. So that means there's going to be another 6 that overlap. Okay? 12 Rubik's Cube, 54 faces. 540 and 108. 648 plus 18. This is how many it came. 18 is because of the 3 of creation. If you're 3 parts of Rubik's Cube of 6 sides, man 6, 3 sides of creation like I showed you, you get 18. 18 to the 648, you are man of 666. Here's the way it works. In the piano, A1 to A7. A7 is the 7th gate. How do we do it? Easy to start the game. 2, 4, 6. Now we just need the passage. 7, 8, 9. These, this says ace. I don't know, can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it says ace? I'm going to take this camera and put it down here. Here, we'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. We'll do it this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Okay. This is it. Does anybody know this sign? This says ace. Why? Because I took away the 2 thumbs, which are 1 and 5, and in between was the creator, the big thumbs. This is what happens in here. Did you ever see that trick when you do this? See that? That's the slide you get into the world. These are all the sliders. So either you do this, and if this video doesn't work, I'm not going to remember this. And this is also ace. Can you see this? What it actually does? Can you see the design? I'm going to put the camera up a little bit. See the 2 sides? There's 2 over here, and then there's the thumb. Look at that. Look at the cave. That's the way the cave looks. See the 2 sides? The way they make 2 R's over here? And then you got the horses on the other side. And And then you've got when you do that, you separate the fingers so you have space in between, because it's the space in between that creates the short line railway, in which is on Monopoly. If I remember, it's 88 times 47, which makes a total of 41, the Mediterranean and Go, 41 and 36. And it also takes North Carolina with it, and it's in short line. And those are the numbers 35, 36, 37, and then 30, 40, 41 and 2 at the end of the game. 41 and 2, 41 and 2, 41 and 2. 40 and 1 and 2. And this 0 is going to be 6. So we're going to have 46 and 1 and 2 equals 49. But 9 times 4 is 36 plus 13. This is eternal. This becomes 12 of the 3 worlds. And this becomes 7 and 6. We become the 6. So we become 3 and 6. You can't change this. You just can't. You can't. I don't remember how it started. But all of you play Monopoly, well, what are the rules? You play backgammon, one of the rules. You play, oh, wait a second, what are you talking about? That's pretty funny. Because next time I play Monopoly, when I get the 2 dice, I got to make sure which one I choose first. Why? Because I'm going to roll 2 dice, but only make the action one at a time. Because you can't make two actions at a time. So if I have to buy a property, and I land on one, am I allowed to buy a property after I've thrown my second dice? Well, no, excuse me, after I've used the number of my second dice. And I'm assuming, assuming to attack at the hashi, okay, up above, it's their turn. You throw the first one, you went first. Does he go in first? You let him make the move. But you can't come back and make the move again once it's over. If you take you get 6 on the dice, 4 and 2, you go 4, oh, you want to buy it, but you don't? Your friend goes and he goes 4, you can't buy it anymore. He landed on your space. Now he can buy it. You should have bought it when you had time. Part of the envelope square. See the Pac-Man? The question was it cut out that way to made that way? Or is this if you turn it over a boat, a sailboat on man's hat? Or everybody knows it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you're actually going, but he's going to munch up home plate. Anybody home? Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the game. It'll be a stretch from Uranus back down to Neptune at the old ball game, but that's not the end of the ride. As you go through Neptune and you rise to Saturn, you sit on your ass and you pray on every Saturday that you got another good 6 days ahead of you. But you forgot to respect the 6th day of the people down here, so you only have 5 days left. Even if it's not your day, you must always pay your respects to the dead, those who choose the other side. The other thing I wanted to mention about this is 540 Rubik's Cube. There's 3 Rubik's Cubes. You go 1, 2, 3. You go all the way down. And you notice there's space in it because you in roulette it's 1, 2, 3 spaces, and then there's 4 spaces. So when you have 3 and 4 spaces, you put Rubik's in it, and what happens is, I'm trying to think of whether or not they removed the middle. They take the middle part and they remove the middle part, and they put in a new middle part in Rubik's, larger. They put it in larger so it can move its floors up to 1 and 3. It has to envelop itself in 2 sides. It has to take part. So it'll become more of a rectangle now. So the 4-3 square inside the roulette board now tells us because of what happens to the Rubik's Cube. And I'll try and show you this. It becomes like this, but there's one more row. Why? Because this is the center and it went on top of this and this. But there's one more row because you have to watch out how you bet when you come to roulette. Can I get a drink? This video may not even upload, so. Everybody knows that red is black, red is brown. Is that correct? Red is brown. You turn your blood red, but you go to the bathroom, it's brown. But yet you try to bring a red apple to your grandmother, and the wolf gets suspicious because he knows he can't owl at the moon with poisonous apples. The original color we maybe should be running is the color of the 7-ball in pool. Bugs Bunny, Road Runner, if it catches you, beep beep. Gotta stick to the originals. I'm still thinking the carrot is good for you, but it may not be, because it's both suns, the Nibiru sun that's sitting out. So now we've taken Rubik's Cube, okay, and we've taken the 4 and 3 of Rubik's Cube, and what we did with the 4 and 3 of Rubik's Cube, because it was 7, now we have to give it the spirit of 6. How do we give 7 the spirit of 6? Well, this is what we do. 3 and 4. 3 times 4 is 12. In between 3 and 4, in between here is 2 spaces. In between here is 3 spaces. 3, 4, 5. 1 on the outside, 6. 1 on the outside, 7. You only have one of 2. Oh, excuse me. 3 in the inside, 3. Let me see. Yeah, it's 2, 2, and 2 for Venus. 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So all of a sudden, 7 is 6. 6 times 54 is 324. That is jail. That is between A and E, the electronic world and the one spirit. You are trapped between here and here. You're somewhere else. You feel like you're gone, and you need to relax, and we need to relax more because we're spiritually not hooked up or generating the energy spirit properly. And we can't, because this world, you can say, oh God, why did he do that? This is the world we're in. We came to this world. This is what we wanted. We read the newspaper. We knew what it was all about. This is what we wanted. Project Mars, Arnold Schwarzenegger, sitting in front of a machine, becoming real because we grew real. When something grows in the machine, it's real. That's why the cancer that grows in you, they manipulate you with that. In the new world, cancer? Oh, I don't think so. But the question is upon you. Would you like to live the rest of your life knowing that everything is perfect and you'll have no more fun? Or just to forget just enough to be able to cope with the differences and to learn as you go? Because in your next life, Spirit now knows with soul on what it must do in order to void all these difficulties that fall upon us. 28, 29, Eisen. I showed you, right? This, Delta Dawn, DD, the club is the black and white cow. Black and white cow, like the zebra. New Zealand, NNZ. Portugal. Portugal. I can't get into everything right now, but I'm just mentioning what goes in it. Then there's Ruby in the Sky. Ruby in the Sky. Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. The earth, because it is the earth. Without something to be able to fly, you need something, you need space to hold in a bubble, to be able to go inside that bubble. And that's what Earth does. But it's not, I mean, for this planet. Did I ever show you this? This mug and dovey, okay, I'm going to stretch it out. You don't mind if I go slow. I prefer going slow, but I rather do a short video. Okay, this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, this one, this one. You see the Star of David in it? You see the tic-tac-toe? You see the X? You see the X? You see the X is inside? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me. 1, 2. This is the X. You see 1, 2, 3 spaces? 1, 2, 3 spaces, and there's a road in between. This is the mug and dove it, but there's a line missing somewhere. These two and this one. These two and this one. Tick. No, that's okay. But then now, after you do this, you can start. It builds a sailboat. It ends up building a sailboat. What it is. This is from my last video that didn't upload. Oh yeah, I'm just going to show you a few things of what I'm doing. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Oh man, some of my things don't come out. Like for God, okay, God, 40G. But what happens is the 0 in the center. How can I explain it? It's the circle of life. It's automatically for man. It's a circle of life. 2, 3, and 4. It's the jail in here. Between 7 and 4 is the jail. But instead of on 2 and 3, it's in between. This is 4 and 7. It's in between 5 and 6. Why 5 and 6? Because 23, 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 5 and 6, and it creates the game. And I know I missed some really good stuff. Oh my God. So now we know about Rubik's. Now we know about we only open up 40 degrees. The horse's nostrils, they move like the rapids. Horse says hour. Horse says blood type, blood type, blood type, blood type. Why the horses work with us in penicillin is because it's the horse that brings in the spirit of awe. If you want to cure something with penicillin, you want to know penicillin, you go look at the horse. You go see the horse. If the Indians said it was about the animals and flowers, then we will find it with the understanding of what the animals do in this world according to how the perception of life actually is. The reality is horses are whatever elements that fly like the wind at 30 kilometers an hour or 30 miles an hour at the racetrack, and that's the number of creation in order to recept with the difference of 3 and 4 seconds. 3.5 seconds, you're here. 8 times 3.5 seconds is 28 grams, 1 ounce. Your pregnancy, when the moon has come and you don't get pregnant or you do get pregnant, it's included with that. The breeders, they talk about the kinds of horses. They have the damsels and the damsas. They have the saddle or the cell or the salt or the selling of all cells that we sell. Number 35, Herbert Hoover. You know what number 35 is? It's standards and pour. They put it into our heads, and by the dams, she rarely pours out any water. They're rarely ever letting the water out. They're only letting the water out when they have to feed the machine. They feed the machine. Well, the only water that comes up a little bit below. And why does the water have to fall such a long, long, long way? You want to know? I don't really know. I can only guess. Because the longer it goes, the longer the strings of Rapunzel. The mane on the back of the neck is like the talus. That's right. That's what it is. That's what it's got to be. 3, 5, and 7. This is on the horse's back right over here. 3, 5, and 7. He's going, whoa, baby. Creation and Jupiter. The E-whale comes to the gates of Uranus. And then I will pass through Neptune and over to Saturn and the moons in Europa and Titan. They will all take part in the movement. And we're all a happy family until, whoops, he has another thought. But I haven't gotten back yet, but it doesn't matter because they're all over the place, the Midway Angels. Once something is done, they go back out. They've been rejuvenated again. You know why? Because you breathed. It went in one way and it turned into something else the other way. Number 23. 23 creates 56. It creates 11. And 2356 is 50 golden eggs times 47 is 2350. And Moses was born, but there's still an adjustment in that. 30 eggs in an egg tray, 2.5 times. We got 30 times time, which is 47, and Jesus was born in the year 3757 BC, but before anybody turned around, it was next year, 6 days later. Now we have 43. The number of 43 is the letter Q and the letter Z, which is 26 and 17, and you can go to any machine, any guichet machine, any place to use a machine. The Q and Z are now on top, and they stand for the Queen and the Barack Obama. It could be the Queen because the Queen might be the good Queen on the good side. Number 17 is 8. That's how it originally started. Could have been royal. Could have been royal. So you put them together, 43, TIME. 43 by 43 by 47 equals 2021. The year 2021. But remember, to come into the circle of life, to get the beanie cap on, you have to spiral in. Down, you know when you pour in the oil into a funnel? Funnel, funeral, coming in, going out, one having 2 arms and 2 legs, the other one you go down 6 feet, but you still point up 2 feet. You know why 2 feet? Because your feet are wings, and that's why they made that commercial with them wings, because you got the ankle to bend it up and down, and you're always walking with those wings, and now you just take off your legs, number 11, shove them back in your hips, and you're going to fly away just like a bird. The funnel. You funnel down. It takes 6 days. See, 3 and 4, but you're coming over here as number X, because the minute you come out of here, your V, if you look on the 6 key, comes over here and it turns you into an X-man. Okay, and then there's which side you come. So you come out as number 6. So that's why, what was I talking about? Number 6. That's why, excuse me, no, did I say 6? You come out as 6, but you're 7. That's why we take 2021 minus 7 makes 2014. If it was 6, it would be the end of 2014. And 6 and 7 is 13, and it makes man on the moon. So that's why this and this is minus 7 years. This was what do you call it? The creation of 6 days. Okay, and man 1 and 6. So on the 7th day, man came into this world with spirit, and God relaxed. But it was God's 7th day, it was man's first day. So we have to take away in years the number of years it is. So we start the first day on God's 6th day, the 6th day he rests. So where is the 7th day? Because of the 7th gate, inside the 7th gate, outside the 7th gate, they replicate it, then they put it into this world because our spirit knows there is a 7th gate. And they can go in and out, but they're not too sure about us. The spirit's a little dumb. It goes to the computer system, it gets everything it needs, it comes out, it delivers, and then its next thing is to get repaired. And it's over and over again. And he's having fun. They're drunk as a skunk. They're spirit. They're wine. They go up and down the vine. November 16th is Valentine's Day. 45 days from Christmas. 45 days from Valentine's Day is 90 days in between. If you use the number of days in between, it comes up to 276 plus 90 is 366. I was born on that eve. Wow, crazy. 90 days because of Y2K. Take out the ace before the 2, and you add up the rest all the way to king, and it equals to 90. The 0 becomes the 6. The 0 can become the 8, and you are the 1 birth of heaven. Or if it becomes the 6. 6 and 8 create the X, the cross on your back. All it is another dot, another area of life in the same world. Where was I? Yeah, when you have 1 and 7 or 2 and 7, let's play the piano. Now I should have practiced this thing before. I probably won't work. The piano. C. It's C. C means creation. C means 3. C is 3. Okay. C is 3. C is 3. Okay. C is 3. Okay? The Father, the Mother, and the Son. It's the sperm. It's ready to go. It's the sperm bank. Here's your X. 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 Thought you never have an ex-wife. Here's the tail. Because that's the DNA trail, the chromosomes that's permeating all over this world outside that most people don't see. They call it a haze, but it's just more chromosomes. coming in to correct the ailments of our bodies. They deliver and they doctor us while we're alive, but we don't notice it because we don't understand. You're walking down the street, you're eating, going to sleep, having a good time, but who gave you the thought to think of what is a good time? How did you figure that out? Horse is going with the jockey and he's going, yeah, I'm having a good time. Is that what he says? Strings and things is because the horse, his tail is in the back and the jockey gets it in his face so he gets a whiff of his ass. And it's the ass that everything comes out when you go into the field and you purify. Of the horseshoe, 4 times a horseshoe is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3 creation. Horse has got it on his legs. And I'm just going through that generally, okay, because I want to get closer to something else. Yeah, so I just want to say the hour. Horse says hour. It also says time. Then you have Tim Horton, the thief of time. Horses like to move rapidly, and the rapids they move is the water they transport, is the reason for the constellation of Pegasus to survive. The nostrils that open and close within their mouth, so much air is going in and out of their mouth, so much energy. They even named the car after it, and then everything was horsepower, and it was the train, the damsel, the filly, the colt, the mare, the maiden who's never come out. They now have the breeder, the trainer, the driver. They've got a stall for her. They got a stall for her. So everybody, hold on, hold on. She's coming by because they're stalling. I'm stalling you all. In the stable, in the manger, in the kitchen, because it said manger. Jesus came into the kitchen before anything happened. It says manger, manger in French. In English, is to eat. And on the barn doors is X and X. That means the 10 world and the 10 world coming into this world. So the question was, that's a normal birth. That's the way I see it. 20 is a normal birth. I say 30 is a created birth, or is the 40. You get 1, 2, 3 automatically. It's the 40 that puts the club over your head. Although the club looks as 3, it's also 3 of the stand makes 6. 3 balls and a stand. I got to calculate what it's worth. And I'm going to do it simple. 3 corners on the triangle, and I can do it. I can say, oh, let's take a triangle and put it this way and this way, like they do in the drain systems. They put it 2 ways to leave only small openings so nothing gets in. And when you put 2 triangles turned on each other, and upside down, it looks like fish. Then you have the Q, see you later, alligator, Peter Pan, Pluto, Walt Disney, 5 and 4. Back again to tell some more as God walked inside the same door, and he's in our heads. It's the red eye. Don't you know the way to go? One of them is confusing us, but our eyes get red, but the cats don't. The cornea, they've taken and removed whatever it is that used to protect us. Now it does not protect us anymore, and that because the danger of the light. You got to the 50-yard line? Are you ready to go? Flip the coin over to the other side. Why? Because when you start, you always move back. 7 by 7 is 49. Put down the ball, move back a foot or 2. Coming back a foot or 2, you don't have to come back the whole yard. Are you in it? Yes, I'm inside the one part of what this says is a yard. I have to go to the front, 1 foot or back, to the back, 1 foot or back, to the side, to the left, turn around. I've made my space. Get up and sit down, okay? And when you walk, you're 3 inches taller because of your toes. So if somebody says, how tall are you? You're 5'7", says, okay, my door is 5'7". You got to be 5'10". Because you're walking. You're not sliding your feet like Michael Jackson. The letters that change angles, the letters that intertwine, all the zeros, the G. Depending on how you want to make the G, it's either a 0 or a C and a J. It's a flip of a coin at center field, and the center field splits it. It's going to be 8, 8, 8, 32. So everybody's going to get 32. And then each team's going to move 1 back from the center. And then each team's going to move 1 forward from the goal line. And now you have 100 yards, plus you have your goalpost. I'm going to be doing the football and how it works according to creation. And where do I get this stuff from? Oh, I don't know. I saw there was a piano, and I saw 52 keys, and then 32 keys. And I was listening to the radio, and they said black-eyed peas. So I'm thinking, who's got an eye on the black peas? So then I go 1, 2, 3, center C, and then you got hockey. And wait a second, in hockey there's a net. I wonder why. Why? Because the bowling ball, where the stripe is, if you cut the 2 sides off, it's round like a hockey puck. inside there is some kind of little machine, which is inside of Rubik's Cube, that controls all this spirit. So now you got the hockey puck, and the bottom part of it, it's the eye in the sky. What was I talking about? The bottom part of the eye in the sky. Oh yeah, the pool ball. So you take the pool ball like this, and you take this side and this side, and this is the referee. R-E-F-E-R, to refer to fair, iron, railroad tracks. Refer. Reefer is a transport to keep the vegetables cool. E-fair, it means a horseshoe. It also means a steel. And when you say steel, John Henry, he was a steel banging man. You got to think about, if you want to know about railways, you got to think about railways. So anyways, you have this star here. You have this star right here. Now what you do is you take this star and you have this star over here because you're two stars in one. Now you take this star and you do this, and you take this star. Excuse me, I didn't do it the right way. This was not the way I should have did it. I should have did it here. But this is how we break up the football fields. When we turn it this way, it's the long ways. When we turn it this way, we see each one gets 3, 3, and 3. But this one has to overlap to here. And this one has to overlap to here, the letter B and the letter 1. It has to overlap because it needs part of their world and part of your world so they can recreate this world and send it away down the chutes, the two sides. That's why we have that fish. See with the whiskers on it? This is the buoy you find on boats. What were we talking about before? Will it be a train? Will it be a truck? Are there any boats that float in Hoover Dam area? How close to it are the tracks? And what do the trains carry? And when was the last time they carried whatever they did? Because don't forget, there's a military base right there. Because if anybody does know anything, we're going to have to speak this a little bit deeper. I'm going to have to speak to Mark, the messer. Call him the messer. So now we have this. We actually have this, which this goes inside. There's your H. Oh, I didn't show you. Look. There's your H. One on this side, one on this side. Now you put one on this side and one on this side. And now you play like this. You don't go in here. But when you do go in here, this one is automatic. Now you have this. Now you have this side or this side of the 50-cent piece. Now you have two sides here. 1, 2, long, corner, long. Oh, I forgot to do this. You're allowed doing corner to corner. And then this one has to be done here. But you notice the way it's done? It's done only up to here. And this. This is the way it has to be done. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2 points. These are the 2 points because this is the matrix, 85. That keeps going up. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. But we don't need the 8. All we need is the 2. 6 goes to 2. 4 goes to 2. 4 and 2, 6 and 2. 8 and 6 is 14. 8 and 6, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. Equals 8 and 6 is 14 equals 9. 14, 8 and 6, 3 and 3. The opposite side of a dice of 3 and 3 is 4 and 4. 5 and 3, the opposite side of the dice of 5 and 3 is 5 and 3. 6 and 2, the opposite side of the dice is 6 and 2. So you make all of this. When you play craps and you go to the casino, you give them $6. If you get a 6 or an 8, they'll give you back $7. 2, 4. Hold on, let me do this again. Where are you? 2, 6 is dog.
2-4 is cat. So either the cat is this, okay? The cat's this, where he's got his ears on. And in here, this position over here is known as the 9 lives of the cat. But it's the O. This is your nose. Oh my God, the nose. The nose. The cat ears. That's why my nose is blocked and my son's nose is blocked all our lives. Oh my God. Did you understand that? I always thought the cat, his trap, was inside. He's inside our nose. The cat, his ears, the penetration, when we blow out through our nose that heat, that water, that is the element of thought. Breathe. So that's the element of thought. The cat picks it up from the ears inside the doghouse. That's why it's the 8 around 1, because she knows the cat's in the doghouse 8 around 1, but the one she's around is she goes through your nose to deliver the message. But because of the way she has to go in, she's blocked by the club that's around your head. One club to here, and then your own clubs here. And you're all clubbed up and clubbed out. And that 24 and 60 is the Z. Z, 26, X 24 equals 50, equals 53, equals 70, 53, 75, 3/4, 77, 87, 91. 91 is 13 weeks of 7 days, or 13 cards in the deck by 7 is 91. It also is the cross on your back, and we need the cross on our back. Look, NZ, it crisscrosses our back. Now we're protected, right? But this cuts us up in two angles, one on each side, the yin and the yang. If we do it again with the Z, they now cut it in 4. The yin and yang has a pie, and it has 4 balls. Circle, circle, and it makes 2 5s when you take it, when you do the yin and the yang, and you make that N letter in the passageway 2 ways, it creates an 8 and an hourglass. Now if you go to number M, and it's funny, Saturday Night Live is about a group named M&M, MNO, 1326. M added on to N at number 91 equals 104. 104, 10-4, Casino War. 10-4 is CB codes. 10-4 is also 7-4 for dog, the doghouse. Why a doghouse? Well, if it's a dog pound, and the cat is trying to communicate and scratch and get on in there, but it's a dog pound, the dog's living in the center, because it's the 9 lives of the cat that owns actually the pound key. Because it's the pound key, because the dog lives there. Who lives there? I do. Oh, it's the doghouse? Yes, but it's owned by the cat, and we're paying all our taxes to the cat. So that way, and also Z equals T for H2O, then the Z. The two of them make 50 the 50, the X and the Z make 50, and you go through the waterfall or something down by Niagara Falls, or down by Las Vegas Hoover Dam, or down in the north by Baffin Islands. I don't know how the whole system of waterworks works, but I know there's a system, because Monopoly shows 2 waterworks, 1 waterwork and 1 electric company. All of a sudden, you know, if somebody has one, somebody sees it's a good thing. Now there's more than one. Same thing with God. He knew it was good, so he did it again. 2 by 2 they came out, and 2 by 2 we lived, but we were trapped. The other thing, so we have that on our nose, the button on our nose, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, everyone, I can't sing a song, but that's okay, everything, even the guy with the pick, right, in the song with Rudolph, he has a pick, and he's looking for silver and gold. He's looking for silver and gold because all the spirit in the north is frozen over. That's why they make it freeze up here, and they're only allowed to use 1 season. Why? Because there's 4 parts. Man is 3, but inside 3 he's 1. And inside their game of the hat they have on your head, the K hat, this way, this way, this way, and this way. And also the K hat also chooses the water fountain. And they give us 1 winter, and it's 90 something days, which is 12 cards or 13 cards without the ace. Take away the ace, I think winter is 90 days. Why 2 Ks? Because no ace in the winter, no spirit, it's frozen. But they're not allowed to use more than the number of days of 90, because otherwise you're matching the other seasons at 91 or 92. So they're allowed to take away your spirit in the wintertime, and that's why you're feeling a little down. It's a machine. It's a huge, incredible electronic, like a plasma. That's just like that's I'm enveloped in it right now. And if you run, you call it the wind, right? And it breaks up and it just sticks back to itself again. We did the horses. We did what the mane on the back over here, which is number 1. You see the shape of the horse's neck? It's like an eye. It's like a fish, isn't it? Look at the horse. His neck looks like a fish. But he's got a number 7. That's why they're always going, Heil Hitler. It's this way goes the horse. It's number 7. The horse would stand up. You should check out the way they run. So we have the beaver in the middle field. He's coming up like a groundhog. This is half a puck. When they show you the moon, they show you a medallion. You see this, right? But what happens if I show it to you like this? What do you see? Barely see anything at all, right? Just like me, I'll show you this, and I'll show you this. That's exactly what the moon is. It's a medallion. And silver is 85, and that runs from Venus. And gold is 38, and club is 38. The gold club is 38, and 38 is 76. SSSSSS. They're both the count of 38. Both the count of the 24 hours a day, and both count for the spirit angel of man, number 11. 38 equals 24, and 11 equals 35, and that again equals the Hoover Dam and the creation of the five spirit, 1, 2, 4, 5 spirit. Because there's 2 kinds of 5 spirits. There's the 2, 4, 6, 8 one that's here, or if I turn it this way, it becomes 1, 3, 7, 9 in the other corners, because there's 2 kinds of 5s. There's this 5, and there's this 5. See, the one gets the top corners, this one gets the side corners. I like when I rip out pages. LED. I don't know exactly what it is. LED shackles. These are the 2 Mercedes signs. X, 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 X. That's 6 X's. 6 times 6 X's or 6 exits. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exit. 6 makes 7 because you're the one that's in it. So now you have 24 times 4 is 96. Excuse me, times 3. 1, 2, 3. 24, 24, 24, 72. 24, 24, 24, 72. 144, 1,440 minutes in a day, 144 hours in a week. Okay, now look, since we did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, now we have here. We have 164, 174, 184, 188. Pretty funny. Hoover Dam, 188. A and H is how the good Lord created this whole thing, but it's not his heaven. It's a place where you are. The good Lord is only 1 and 3. The minute he makes the design of the letter, he becomes the letter. Otherwise, he wouldn't design it. I mean, if you take a piece of some sort of metal and you're trying to build off of it, you're using the piece for what it is, or otherwise you're going to reshape it. I don't like the way I said that. HTTP, walking heel to toe. www, where is that? So we did this. These are my LED lights. 4 open and 4, look, 2, 3, 4. 96. Man is trapped in 96. Why? Because this is 15, 15, 15, 15. This is the 24-hour day. The 24-hour day is 48, 72, 96. 15, 15, 15, and 15, 96, and 60 is 156, which is creation of the game of angel, and you start off on the Mediterranean. But I don't want to say it that way because, look, you have one more X over here. 96 makes 120. You've got all the pool balls in the pool table. This, 1 and 5, because between here and here, you're stopped. Between here and here, you're stopped. Here and here, you're stopped. Here and here, you're stopped. In the center is the hand of time. So what lives in between 1 and 5? That's why you're 6. From here to here is 6. From here to here is 6. That's why you got your 12 by 12 and your 144 that you had over here. Over here, you have 2, 3, and 4, 2, 3, and 4, 2, 3, and 4, 2, 3, and 4, 90, 90, 90, 90. You are trapped here. You see on one side, when it's 1 and 5 is the outside circle. So instead of 1 and 5, it's now 9 and 6, and you're trapped at 7 and 8. You're trapped at 7 and 8, plus 2 and 3, you make the 10-10 world go round. We were at, they told you it was 15, 2, 3, 4. So instead of being 15, it would be on the other side, it would be 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8 is 21. And then you can play with the 1 cube. And also, 6 eyes on the jack, 7 eyes on the king. Only the king of diamond has 1. And all the queens have flowers and all their eyes. The queen has 8 eyes. That means she plays from both full worlds. She sees. The king of diamonds, he's missing 1 eye. He plays from 7. And the jack, well, all he can see is that he's very sick because he has 6 eyes. And his eye is divided and shared with someone else because he can't seem to figure it out on his own. Nostradamus. Our son, our 3 sons. No, son, Trey means 3 of the lady of the spirit angel, the Damus, Nostradamus. The horses have a tail. You ever hear about the tail? We've got strings and things and things and strings. What can you do with the tails of the horses? We did this, we did this. The zero exchange. Let's go to the zero exchange. Here's your zero exchange. Because all you need around in 360 degrees, all you need, what is the amount of 360 degrees when you're 3 and 3 from home? What is it? It would become 72 times 3 when you live in the circle of life, okay, which is 3. This is why, because this is your center and these are your outsides. See the way you have your own wing to fly? Don't forget, I'm explaining it this way, but everything else may seem a little bit different if somebody else did it. I'm thinking, but anyways, I want to go with this way. It would also work that the O is actually part of the 8. So would that say the O is actually a 5? You know why it's a 5? Because it's in the middle. And there's only a total of 1 to 9, and the center one is 5. The last one is 9. It was a 0. Repeat it fast, and it's E-I-E-I-O. Farmer is in the Dell, or LED lights through Hoover Dam. And on November 16th, they're planning a huge Valentine's party for the end of the year, for the end of the sphere. As Vita saying. So now we have 151. This is Hoover Dam and Quebec. And both of them, imagine in Quebec where our dam is and by Las Vegas where their dam is, we both come out to number 53. They're 83. Okay, 3 plus 5 is 8. And then there's 3. But 3 times 5 by 3 is 15. 45 says the fox. 1 times 5 is 5. Times 5 is 1 is 5. 45 equals 9. We're going to do it down and up. 45 equals 9. 5 equals 9. 9, 5, E, I, and back to the center. Whenever you come back to the center, you say O. Why do we hop over the center? Because it's a passageway. 5 is the heart. But it's in the center would go 3 and 5. Because it's creation of 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines. But if we were doing 72 times 5 degrees equals 360 degrees. So 72 times 2 equals 144. Did you follow me on that one? You want me to say it again? What happens? There's a mixture of things that I put in here. But 5 degrees, okay, is when you look at the 0 on top, it shows you that it's the 50 degree past the entrance into half of the field. But it's a whole circle, but it's half because it's not as large as it should be. So you have this 5 by 72. You get 360. Now you take that 72 times, okay, it's 72 5-degree angles, okay, 5 degree, 5 degree, 5 degree. And then inside what's going to happen is this whole inside here, all you're going to see is lines. And then once you start getting out here, the lines will get more open and more open. And this is like that thing they had on TV when it first started. And this is time 6, because from 1 until 6. So, well, actually, it's 1 until 5, because from 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 5 by 72 equals the same thing. If it was 4, 1 and 4 is 5. 4 by 72 is the actual 288 of what we need. $1.25 times 288 is 360. 19, man on the moon, the card 10 and the card 9 equals 361. Now you see why 288? Because on the 277th day a child is born for the first time in the year. Add spirit angel and man onto him, and he's actually 285. But then you add 2 to put him in his house, and then 11 for spirit angel and man, and that's his bar mitzvah. So it's 285 plus 282, it's 11. I need 11. Okay, anyways, I'm going to just leave it the way it is. It's because I added on my first 3 days before that. But that's the reason for the bar mitzvah for the number 13. Where do I get this 1.25? Well, this 1.25 is after the year ends in a leap year. There's 1.25 days that are not counted in the last moon of the last year. But what we're going to do now, okay, is that 144 and 144 makes this. And that's a time of 12 times 12. 144 is 4 for 1 for 4. It's a 9 card and the 10 card, because the 10 card shows 4 spaces and 1, and 4 spaces and 1. And the 9 card shows 4 spaces, 1 to 4 spaces. And that's man on the moon. This, okay, just give me a second. Yes, what happens on this is 16 days after this is Halloween, one spirit of 6. 304th day of the year, 305th day in a leap year. But 305, 0 equals 6. So your 305 would be 365. No, excuse me, we'll keep it on the 304th day. The 304th day, the 0 gets to be 6. 364, 13 moons, exactly, times 28 equals to the 364. And that's the first time the moon opens up. The 365th day, right? Right on the leap year. Oh my God! From 364 and 1 1/4, right? From on the leap year Halloween, the quarter is who you are. That comes out. You're a plus, and the 1 day is the 30 creation, and that's why Halloween is on the 31st of October. Not only that, but because of Monopoly, because it's the 10th month and the 31st day, which is 41, and that's again the medication on the Monopoly, which is out of Israel and out of the Baltic, and it's all over the world. Peru, Jamaica is how something it started very much in Jamaica, and and then I start to watch TV and speak to you guys. I get more and more, sometimes a little lulled on my information, sometimes it's better, but my vision is in retardedly insane. I want it to hope this way. It's like this is not even existing. I drink a lot of this because ears. Rabbits have ears and they have tails. Tail is to scare away the vampire, because a tail in English is spelled T, which is dog, A-I-L. And A and I is I am Jack, but I am the wing only of Jack. Jail, A-I-L, says garlic, the smell of the vampires, to get rid of the vampires. So I'm going to start eating a little bit more garlic. It may be just an expression, but I don't think so. It's more of an expression. And they were right. We have to eat garlic. You can break any code you want. Once you start learning the numbers, and if I could, and I could, if you want, I'm going to take pictures of all my stuff. I'm going to get a site and I'm going to put it all up. Study it, look at it, try and figure it out. I don't need to tell you too much. All I have to say, if you ask me a question, all I have to do is explain how the equations go. And I'll use games people play, and we'll be one-on-one, hopefully. And then once I teach one, and one teaches one, and one teaches one, and so on, and all of a sudden, I've duplicated my thoughts. And my thoughts are now held exalted within man. Time comes, my friends, October 4th, 277th day. 2 and 7 is 9, 2 by 7 is 14. 9 and 14 is 9 and 4. That's the birth of the eternal Mars. 9 times 4 is 36 is 9. The fully extended number. I had a number, 4 and 5. I don't remember what it was. I'd have to repeat, but you know what? At a minute and 10 seconds, if this does work, do you know what's going to happen to me? And you see, is it now that they're screwing up my stuff, or is it during the whole time? Because if this works, and I leave my house and it works, I know that I've written down my notes. You know, I'm taking notes. Oh, yeah. Hey, Star, you ready? Are you ready to play? Because I need you to take some notes for me. Don't worry, I'll feed you. I'll help you out. What do you need, my friends? Because without you, I ain't very much. I'd be lonely. I wouldn't remember anything. And if you can't remember, then how do you know you're happy for a reason? To be happy for a reason, to understand for the better of all, Raphael, 7286, and the constellation of Pegasus coming into the year of 2019 and 5780. 5780 is 137, and that is the time clock, and the bell she tolls. I'm going to have to go study the Liberty Bell. You know the part of the Liberty Bell on the bottom? Well, that would be the part that would go around your neck. Imagine it goes over your head. During World War I, they wore hats that looked like the same thing. Anyways, let's keep it at this. Put on fill in, put on this, and now you have to. Thank you.